Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. We're standing beside the Factory 5 Racing 65 Coupe. In a previous video, or the last video, we had shown you the hood with the hood down and attached and explaining how they did the masking and the clear coat. So now what I'd like to do, the car, we're in Ontario, Canada, so the weather right now is questionable. Our client's really excited to drive the car, so what we're going to tweak it and finish the interior, because we're going to do some custom touches, but we'll do that in the new year. So what we're doing is we're just getting ready to load it in our enclosed trailer, deliver it to the client so he can get some test miles on it. We've put approximately 100 miles in the car so far. We've done a four-wheel alignment, we had some road tests, we re-torqued everything. We've got fresh oil, all the fluids, tire pressures and all that fun stuff. So it's basically going to, from here, we're going to load it in the trailer and take it to the client's home. So I thought what we'd do is just do a brief walk around just to share with you how it turned out. I don't want to bore you too much with the details because there's a lot of stuff that we've changed or tweaked on the car that's not normal for the Factory 5, but it's just some nice touches, I think, in terms of attention to detail. So the first thing you'll see, this is our normal hardware from Factory 5 for the latches with the chrome. They provide this mesh, the aluminum looking mesh, which is very similar to the race car or the tribute car, which is the Shelby Daytona in 1965. So you can see, hopefully the camera person, I think I'm going to go on the other side of the hood and I'll just point out some things. So the underside of the hood, they did some body work on it, and we painted this really, I think it's a semi-gloss, just it's not satin, it's not high gloss, so it has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's the same black finish that we do on all the Corvettes we restore, anywhere from C1s and up. So this is the same paint that we would use for the underside of that. We now have all the splash panels in. From Factory 5, these splash panels, so obviously this is behind the tire, and we've got some rubber weather stripping to help with keeping it clean underneath the hood area. And then these are bare aluminum, and what we did is we sanded them, prepped them, and we powder coated them a black texture, and we did all the powder coating in-house. The other thing I'd like to just share is the headlights and how we did the wiring. So this hood, we've extended it. The original position of the hood to open and close is quite a bit different from the original car, but our client intends to show this at car shows. So if we left it in the original position, the hood would basically be, I'm going to say roughly about here instead of tilting where it is. So if people wanted to see the detail in the engine bay, it would be very awkward for them to come around to see it. So we wanted to kind of show it off more, so we've trimmed part of the lower nose, we modified the brackets on the front to allow the hood to extend and move quite a bit more forward. We changed the positioning of the hood shocks so it will allow it to open. So this is the maximum that you can have the opening, which is pretty neat for not only doing maintenance and work and cleaning the car, but also at car shows. So there's a lot of things that we kind of tweaked a little bit or changed in the event we have to do any maintenance. And we were talking about that throughout the build. And one of the things, as you'll notice, is the back of the headlight pots. You can see the wiring and the connectors. These are weatherproof connectors and pins, and they're all insulated individually. So these are very similar, and they're plug and play. So there's a male and female, and they're basically unplugged. So if you ever have to do service or remove the hood, everything is serviceable. If you did it with direct wiring, then you end up cutting wires, and we didn't want to have concerns with wiring later. So they've set that up just a little bit differently with the wiring. And then in the engine bay, you can see the box, like from where the camera person is, we've got, it's all powder coated. So all of that bare aluminum that's riveted on or fastened on or screwed in, instead of being bare aluminum, we've sanded it, treated it, and then powder coated it with a black texture. Same thing inside all the pieces of the wheel wells and the support pieces. You can see that's all been blacked out. It just looks quite clean. I think it'll be easier to keep the vehicle clean in time. These are aftermarket that we've placed in here. So there's a company in the US that makes these. They're made out of aluminum, and it's a trim to fit. and it basically closes the open part of the fiberglass of the lower rocker panel, and it also gives it more support, and it looks, just kind of finishes it off so it's not open there. So this is a 347 blueprint engine, and then everything is pretty much stock in terms of engine from the way they ordered it. A couple of other nice things. These are the upgraded side pipes. The original, this is the, in the 65 Coupe, this is the 3rd gen, and a lot of the 3rd gens had a mild steel side pipes, the dual side pipes, and there were some concerns with fit. And then they have these, which are, I would call them upgraded. I believe that's all they have now, Factory 5. These are exceptional. They're a high polished stainless steel. The original race car, they were powder coated or painted white. So we're just kind of, the client is going to drive it for a while and then think if we're going to have them powder coated or leave them with a polished, look. Another nice touch, you'll notice if you're familiar with these Factory 5 racing cars, they do not have glass, they do not have window frames, and they don't have glass here. In earlier videos, you can go to our channel, Last Chance Auto Store, on YouTube, and there's numerous, I want to say perhaps 16 to 20 videos on this build. And we basically went step by step before we got to this stage. So this was all designed in-house. This is a metal frame. Their power, this is safety glass. So it meets or exceeds all the Canadian standards. So this is safety glass, and so is this. And then with the frame, we went with paint to match. So we basically painted it instead of having a separate color. We've attached it. It's serviceable and it's removable if we need to do any work on it. And then we have these mirrors. The Factory 5 option is to have like a bullet kind of mirror. And then these I love. They're very, very difficult to find. These are from Brock Industries. And this is, I believe, the correct look for the actual Shelby Daytona race car. So I quite like them. They come exactly like this with this matte black, and they're powder coated. For now, I think we're just going to have them because we just want to make sure the visibility is phenomenal. We held up the chrome or the stainless bullet style round mirror, and they're, to be blunt, they're useless. There's no visibility coming out the sides because of the enormous muscular rear quarter panels. So when I found some pictures of these from the original race car, we were able to track these down. I think what we'll probably do when it comes back in the after Christmas or New Year's, I believe what we should do is probably have them paint to match. But that's something that a lot of you can discuss. I think one way it ties in with the number, the black number, but then we'll see what our client would like. So we have, basically what we've done is we have these doors on actuators. So obviously there's no handle. We didn't want to modify the look of the race car. And then you can see if the camera person kind of comes around here a little bit. It looks unfinished right now, but this is our design. We'll end up we'll make a door panel here and upholster it and finish it off. This handle that you see here looks like it's a normal wind-up window. And then when if you imagine when this is upholstered, you're not obviously going to see any of this. We can probably have a mat pocket down in here, some storage. This looks like a wind-up window, but it's actually power. So we've done this, as I mentioned, the safety glass. It's power up and down. It makes the car much more secure. It's a light tinted glass. We may tint the glass more, but for a lot of states in the U.S., for those of you that are watching this video, we've built a few of these Factory 5 cars. This is the first one that we've built, 65 Coupe, with the finished frame and window. So in Ontario, Canada, you can't have plexiglass in the sides or in any position on this car. It doesn't meet or exceed the safety standards. But if it's safety glass, then it meets or exceeds the standards. So I think this is quite a nice touch. This car is also equipped with air conditioning. So having the air conditioning accessory and having the full glass with the pop-out actuators, I think is a nice feature. As you come around the back, You won't mistake this car with anything else, I don't think, in terms of the overall style. It's very muscular, it's quite sporty looking. We basically, the rear spoiler, if you were watching or following some of the videos, this spoiler on the race car was riveted on. We've actually contoured it or built it into the actual body, so it's nice and smooth lines. It doesn't look like it's been added, it looks like it's a part of the mold of the actual car. So not everyone would like that. Some, you know, if you want the authentic race car look, I'm sure what they'd want to do is have the rivets, but this build, the client wanted to have a little bit more unique and a little bit streamlined. We have the LED lights, we have a light for the license plate, so everything here in the back is ready for the safety scanners. We've got the really nice fuel filler with the double clip for the filler itself. The wheels, I think, are exceptional. And then we just basically look at the side profile of the car and the quarter panels, the wheel package. It just, to me, it's a really nice blend of old and new kind of thing. And then we also have the actuator, obviously, here on this side for the passenger side. And so with the frames and the glass, I think it's just kind of a nice little touch with the power windows. And then we have the mirrors obviously on the passenger side too. And then we've got the wiper kit. So in Ontario, once again, it's a safety glass windshield, which comes from Factory 5. And then this is an option through Factory 5 Racing for the wiper kit. It's quite a nice kit, so that's installed. So the only thing we haven't really installed here, which we'll do in the spring, is the actual air conditioning. But like I mentioned earlier, we just want our client to have the opportunity to take it for a drive, get some miles on it, because he's really excited about taking it for a road test and make sure it's exactly what he's expecting. So this is the rare Factory 5 Racing 65 Coupe, so it's a tribute to the Shelby Daytona. And I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.